Hey everybody, it's Trags alongside Josue Pavon of WEEI and CLNS Media. A heartbreaking 87-79 Game 7 loss for the Celtics to LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers for the first time ever. Josue, the Celtics up 2-0. Can't close out the series. It's the first time in 38 series that has happened. Really a remarkable streak comes to an end. First time Celtics lose Game 7 at home of an Eastern Conference final since 1982, the Beat LA chant, when the Philadelphia 76ers beat the Celtics to go to the finals that year. That was 120-106. Tonight, it was just too much LeBron James. He did have it in him to play all 48 minutes. 48 minutes, 35 points, 15 rebounds, and 9 assists.
He proved why he's the best in the league, Trags. You know, he got his guys involved. I thought Jeff Green was certainly the X factor in this game. You know, he was not only productive offensively, but defensively, he was able to make those switches that maybe Kevin Love would have struggled with. You know, the Celtics obviously put up a tremendous game. Shooting-wise, they did have their shortcomings, obviously, down the stretch. But I think overall, I mean, the first time for them to lose at home throughout the postseason speaks volumes for obviously what this roster has gone through without, you know, Kyrie Irving, Gordon Hayward, Daniel Tice. I mean, Brad Stevens he actually did go on and on about how impressed he is with this group of guys, and he cannot wait to see what happens next when all these guys with all this experience underneath, you know, they're under their belt, what they're going to be able to do next year.
All right, Brad Stevens said after the game he thought the game might have been lost early when they were up 35-23 and couldn't pull away, and I totally agree with him. I thought that was really the key point of the game. The Cavaliers go on a 12-2 run at that point and cut the lead to 2 points, and they were back in the game, and the Celtics really didn't look like the same team. I mean, offensively, they could not get anything going. They finished 7 of 39 from three-point range, and they struggled to really find rhythm all night long.
But I agreed with one thing that Brad Stevens said. Those threes down the stretch, you just kept thinking that they were going to eventually start falling, and they never did. They got it down to 4 points. You know, they had a chance, a couple of opportunities, a huge offensive rebound from Terry Rozier. He had a really bad night overall, but, you know, he had a huge offensive rebound after one missed three. He misses another one, and a lot of these looks were pretty decent looks, Trags. Looks that we've seen the Celtics convert throughout the postseason, but they just didn't fall this time. And, you know, Brad Stevens said that this team, he thought for a second that this team was going to finish the game shooting 35% and somehow still win the game, but obviously that wasn't the case.
LeBron James, after the game, I thought really gave some very great, glowing praise of Jason Tatum, somebody he's known and has known his parents as well for a very, very long time. It was Jason Tatum who went to LeBron's camp back in 2007 and asked LeBron to follow him on Twitter.
Yeah.
He joked about that. But what LeBron James said about Jason Tatum is, I love this kid. He is a star in the making, no doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. And, of course, Brad Stevens said the same. He was asked about Jason Tatum. He said, look, I can't wait to see him get even better, which is, you know, remarkable when you think about it for a 20-year-old. And I think he's earned himself a follow from LeBron James, especially
I think maybe, yeah.
after dunking on him, which was a huge moment throughout the night.
The payback, by the way, for the 2 late threes
That's
over
right.
him in game number 6.
And that's what Jason Tatum had to say. You know, I love that. I love that tenacity. I love the fight. Got in LeBron's face. Fearless competitor in Jason Tatum. He's only going to get better. And I think these two, sometime down the line, will see each other again, whether it's the Eastern Conference, whether it's the NBA Finals. I can't wait, Trags.
I know there are people out there that are going to criticize Brad Stevens and Terry Rozier for gunning the threes late in the game. Terry Rozier, I think, finished 0 for 10 from three-point range, and Jaylen Brown was something like 2 for 15. It was very, very ugly, but that's what the Celtics are. And they were open looks, like you said.
I agree, 1,000%. I mean, towards the end of the third quarter, there were a couple of shots that I thought Terry Rozier just got, you know, a little bit ahead of himself. But when it came down to that fourth quarter, these were good looks. These are looks that we've seen them convert. These are looks that we've seen them, you know, come through at the end of the fourth quarter with this crowd rocking. This crowd was rocking pretty much throughout the entire 48 minutes. Even when the Cavaliers made their comeback, even when they pulled ahead, the crowd was never really out of it. And I just felt like they just didn't fall. That happens, you know, Game 7. That's going to happen. That's what, you know, when you're playing against the best player in the series and you're in a Game 7, you know, that's the risk that you run, you know, heading into who is the best player in the NBA. So I just feel like, again, you can't really, you know, criticize this team for taking those shots or for, you know, electing to turn to the three-point shot, because that three-point shot has been there for them. They've been able to rely on that shot time and time again. It just didn't happen this time.
I asked Al Horford after the game if, given how far this group got, with all the injuries, how much he might be looking forward to seeing Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward come training camp, which Brad Stevens says he can't wait to see training camp and how hard and intense the practices are going to be. Al Horford, to my question, said it's too early. It's really too soon after Game 7. But look, we know what's coming back.
And Brad Stevens says just give him a couple of days. You just need a couple of days to digest everything. And he's ready to go. He's already game planning how to put this team together and how divvy up the minutes and how everyone's going to mesh with each other. And obviously we can't wait as well. It's going to be down the road. But I mean, when you look at what this team was able to do, the experience they have under their belt, I mean, this is going to be one heck of a ride. It already was one heck of a ride. It's going to be fun covering this team next season.
No question about that, Josue. I want to thank you all season for your partnership here courtside. You've been a good man, putting up with all of our outtakes, putting up with all of my manic moods after Celtics wins and losses. The Celtics season comes to an end here in game number 7. They drop it to LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers, 87-79. We'll have complete coverage on CLNS Media. Be sure to follow Josue Pavon on Twitter and follow me on Twitter and follow our Celtics Twitter page at Celtics CLNS. For Josue Pavon, I'm Mike Petralia, CLNS Media.